Right.
That's normal human instincts.
Yeah, true enough. So how you doing, Jaya?
Are we starting?
It's Jaya.
Oh, I'm doing great. How are you doing?
No, we just roll into it.
Okay.
You know how people go, like you say, and go.
And action.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Deer in headlights.
And that whole deal.
Absolutely. I'm very happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Anytime.
Yeah.
Anytime. You was a person of interest.
That's usually a bad thing.
No. Not in a criminal way.
Right, okay, good.
In a good way for what you've been doing.
Yeah, awesome. Well, thank you. I take that as a compliment.
All right. No problem. I ain't got no problem giving compliments.
Yeah.
When they're due.
Right, of course.
Because I don't like a lot of people.
Yes.
Of course.
You're not going to blow smoke.
Right.
I don't know. Can you cuss on this show? You're not going to blow smoke up someone's ass for no reason.
Yeah.
Maybe I shouldn't say that in case my mom sees this. Well, whatever. We can edit that out later. Fix it in post.
Mom, that was on her. That wasn't on me. So,
Right.
I know that you are a physician, if I'm not mistaken.
That's right, yes.
So how'd you get into that? I mean, what made you be a physician?
Well, it was something that was desired for me from a very early age,
Okay.
for my family. And so I went into family medicine. I trained right here in Shreveport at LSU Health Sciences Center.
All
And
right.
then I actually work as a hospitalist, which means I take care of patients who are in the hospital. Like, I don't have a clinic or anything like that.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
What's the most challenging part about being a physician?
Whew. Well, besides sometimes the long hours, of course, I would say the most challenging part is, so much of it is caring about the person with your whole heart. But if you put yourself out there with every single person, it can be very emotionally exhausting because people are going through a lot of difficult things. So I'd say the most difficult thing is having just enough detachment to be able to do my job every day, but still put my whole heart into caring about the person. It's a fine line.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know if I can do it.
It's difficult.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
So, born and raised in Shreveport?
Actually, I'm from Alexandria, 2 hours south of here. So I was born and raised there. And then I moved to Shreveport in 2002 for medical school. And I've kind of been here ever since.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Leaving anytime soon? Or is Shreveport where you're going to be at for the duration?
That's really hard to say. I think the answer is somewhere in the middle. My husband and I, we have a production company called McSharma Productions.
Okay.
And we love all the stuff that we're doing here, with our video interview series and Louisiana Film Prize and movies. But if our job, where we want to go should take us outside of Shreveport, we're prepared for that. But we do love being here for now.
Now, we're going to come back to that McSharma video production.
Okay.
But I seen you on the under 40.
That's right. Yeah. I think it's the Young Professional Initiative, YPI.
Right.
I think that's what it stands for, Young Professional Initiative. I'm in their top 40 under 40 class for 2018.
Well, congratulations for that.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
So how did they go by selecting you? I mean, what was the criteria?
They might be able to answer that better than me, but
Right.
I think, a member of the community or the Chamber of Commerce basically nominates you, and then you fill out an application. And I think what they're looking for are young professionals, obviously, but people who are invested in the community and trying to make a difference. And I was lucky enough that they thought that I fit that criteria.
You do?
Yeah, thank you.
You do. So I ran across that on YouTube, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, that's right.
Because I was looking at some of your shows, and then I kept scrolling, and I saw the 40 on the 40. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, you're on it. They just put that out.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're on top of things.
Hey, I'm a media guy.
Yeah, you are. You are.
I'm a blogger, so I
Absolutely.
got to be.
That's
So,
right.
Tell me some more about your production company that you got.
So, McSharma Productions is basically my husband and I, Jaya. No, I'm Jaya. He's Jacob McSharma.
I was gonna say,
He's Jacob. I'm Jaya. Yeah,
Okay.
that's right. When we got married, we combined our names. So his last name was McGarry and mine was Sharma, and we became McSharmas together. So McSharma Productions basically started out, there's an online magazine called Heliopolis Online, Shreveport News and Culture magazine. And we started doing web series for them. Called Give Me a Minute, basically trying to get people more involved in the community, especially with things that were happening like the Caddo Common Park project. That was actually our first video. And then it kind of progressed from there. We started doing a web series called Couch Sessions, where we interview local artists and musicians and actors. Yeah. And then we started a third series called Follow Your Dreamport, which has been our most popular series to date. And that's where basically we interview people in Shreveport to show everyone that no matter where you live, you can follow your dreams from where you are. And that's been very rewarding. So yeah, we've had a lot going on, and we had a short film, the Louisiana Film Prize in 2018. We made the top 20. It was called #BrownBridgetMD. And we were lucky enough to come away with some awards for that. And so yeah, we do a lot between web series and short films and different kinds of productions.
So tell me more about the Couch series. It was pretty interesting. How, people come in, I guess they're in their robes.
Well, actually, I provide the robes, so it was just kind of it's kind of like a half scripted, half unscripted comedy interview show.
Right.
You know, kind of like Jimmy Fallon and Ellen DeGeneres, and like the way they do their interviews. We wanted to make it fun for people to see a different side of people that they might not know about. And so basically I do an interview with someone, kind of like we're having an interview right now, but at the end of that Couch Sessions, we'll do a parody of a music video because that's something I've always wanted to do, and it ends up being super fun, and so we have a lot of fun with that one.
I saw the one with AJ Haynes.
That was our very first one, yes.
Right.
Yes, she was our very first person.
This is different.
Yeah, well, I was thinking to myself, what would AJ Haynes probably never sing at a show? Like, Britney Spears is not going to be on the roster for the Seratones, you know?
Right.
So I just thought it'd be funny if AJ Haynes sang Britney Spears, because I'm a big fan of 90s pop. And so I just thought it'd be funny if we could recreate that music video, you know, Catholic school outfit and everything. So
the production looks so good on that Couch series.
Oh, thank you.
It's different. It's unique.
Yeah.
It has its little goofy parts in there. So,
definitely.
I mean, it's something that anybody could watch.
Well, I appreciate that. Yeah, that was our goal, was, you know, to show someone from Shreveport who's really doing their thing, but also to have a little fun.
I think it ruined it for me because I watched that first.
Oh, you did?
And then I seen you on a serious interview, so it felt funny.
Yeah.
I was so used to seeing you all smiling and laughing.
I know.
And then I think it was a Channel 6 interview or something.
On which one?
I can't remember. It was a news interview.
Oh, yeah.
They was talking about the film prize.
Oh, yes, with Lauren Visa.
Right.
Yeah.
And then he was all serious.
I know.
It just felt kind of weird.
It feels weird to me, too, to be serious. Also, those interviews are so early in the morning, I'm not sure I'm awake enough to know what I'm saying.
Oh, so that was like very early, like 5, 6 o'clock.
Exactly. I'm not a morning person.
So are you going to still continue the Couch series, or that's just something you did for a period of time and you're just moving on to something else?
Well, we definitely want to continue the Couch series. You know, our next big project is to kind of expand our short film into a series.
Right.
You know, either for television or for our web series. But we'd love to continue the Couch series and to continue Follow Your Dreamport, because I felt like people had a really good response to that and they felt inspired by it.
And I'm going to get to that.
Okay.
But if, on my personal opinion, I think you should still continue the Couch series.
Yes.
I mean, it's good.
Yeah. Oh, thank
and
you.
It's different. It's so many people that do interviews like I do, you know, just straight up without, you know, all the different themes and stuff to it. But
yeah.
Which is
great.
That
which is great too.
It's a gem. Thank you. But you have a gem right there. But I know you're doing different things. But if it were me, I would definitely continue the Couch.
Well, I really appreciate you saying that, because it's my favorite too.
Right.
But not everybody feels that way. But you got to do what you enjoy and what you love, and so we definitely are going to continue it. We actually we just did kind of a Couch Sessions, but it was for the midterm elections that just happened. And we had various city council and school board and mayoral candidates come in and sing along to a parody of a Backstreet Boys song. But we changed the lyrics to encourage people to vote.
Right.
So I really enjoy doing that sort of thing, because I think it's fun and hopefully people enjoy watching it. So we'll definitely continue with the Couch series.
But the Couch brings out people's personalities.
Exactly, yes.
You know, it brought yours out, it brought AJ's out.
Yeah.
I got to watch, it was another one, I can't remember his name.
Well, we've had...
I think it was the stunt guy.
Luke Sexton.
There you go.
Yeah.
I watched that one.
Yeah.
But it just brings out people's personality, how you probably wouldn't normally see them.
Right.
Normally see them, but...
Hopefully it gets them a little bit more relaxed, especially because a lot of the time we're doing shots of something.
Right.
You know,
I saw that.
Yeah, I would love to continue it, and we definitely will in 2019.
And then I saw the Follow Your Dream board.
Yes.
I saw the interview with Chris Lynn.
Yes.
Which was a great interview.
She's amazing. Yeah.
Like I said, you just give her a microphone and she'll go.
I mean, you don't need to do anything. You don't need to ask her any questions. She can just take over the whole show by herself.
So what made you create the Follow My Dreamport?
Well, actually, it was a little bit selfish, to be honest.
Really?
So I, am a physician, like we mentioned, but
right.
My dream, like in my heart of hearts, what I truly want to do, my passion in life, is to write and to act.
Okay.
Especially with media and television and film. So, you can get so bogged down in negative thinking. and you can think, oh, I'm a doctor, I'm in Shreveport, which is not Hollywood. There's no chance for me to follow my dreams while I'm living here. And then I started saying, well, what if I could change my thinking about that? And what if I could change other people's thinking? So let me look around me. Who is doing their thing in Shreveport? No matter what they think, no matter what they're told the limitations are, they're going after their passions in Shreveport. So they're making Shreveport their dreamport, right? Which is actually a term coined by Valerie Delat, who works for Heliopolis. So that it was selfish. I wanted to find 8 people who were doing their thing in Shreveport so that I and other people could be inspired by them and kind of get rid of that self-limiting negative thinking. And that's kind of how the series came to be.
And you call that selfish?
Yes. Because I wanted them to inspire me so I could go follow my dreams. So that's kind of what happened.
Yeah, no, as far as the selfish, I don't know if I would use the word selfish. I mean, of course it's helping you, but you're helping other people as well.
Yeah, that's true.
And you put them on camera, they're getting noticed, and they're doing great things, you're doing great things. I don't know if selfish would be the word that I would use.
Yeah, maybe not.
It's in a good way.
In a good way, okay. Selfish in a good way.
It's in a good way.
Yeah.
So now I know you're going to have season 2 to start.
We are, yes. We're going to have season 2, which is going to have a little bit more of a twist. So season 1 was people in Shreveport talking about how they follow their dreams in Shreveport.
Right.
Season 2 is actually going to be the same thing, but more with a focus on second chances and comebacks. So you have someone that followed their dream, but something happened either personally or professionally or business-wise that was kind of a disaster or an epic fail, as the kids say. I don't know if people still say that. So how did they come back from that? How did they come back from a disappointment or a disaster to continue to follow their dreams? And that's really what we want to focus on for season 2.
Wow. So,
yeah.
So do you find your own people to come on the show, or do people hit you up? How do you select your people to get interviewed?
Well, for the first season, no one knew who we were or what we were doing, so we went out and kind of found people on our own. But because it's had some success and we're on the KSLA Roku channel and people have kind of responded to it, now people are approaching us. So for season 2, we're going to have we're going to put out a video that says, hey, this is when we're filming, and we're going to kind of take applications basically online. And out of all the applications, we're going to select another 6 to 8 people to interview.
So how did the KSLA thing happen? They just saw it and they really interested in it?
Yeah.
Their Roku channel?
Well, there's a really great guy that works at KSLA named Blaine Skiles, and he's like you, he's very much on top of things in social media and online media. So he saw the Dreamport interviews and he liked them, and I think he just kind of pitched it to the news station, and they said, yeah, this is something that we want our viewers to be able to, watch and benefit from. So we worked out an agreement to put us on their Roku channel, and we're very excited to be on it. The more people that can see it, the better.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, look how that worked out.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
What's been the most challenging part of doing the couch, follow your dream port? What's been the most challenging part for you doing the filming?
I think the most challenging part, especially when you're starting anything on your own, is the self-belief, because no one's going to come to your house and say, Jaya, we think it'd be really great if you did an interview series. So here's the cameras and here's the money and here's the editor and we're going to do it all for you,
That'd be nice.
So that would be amazing. So if anybody wants to do that, please call me. But I think you have to believe in what you're doing enough and in yourself that you're capable of doing something that's worth watching, because whenever you're getting started, no one's going to tell you that you're worth it or that you're capable, So you have to really just go after it and have a good support team behind you.
Yeah.
So putting that team together was very lucky because my husband is very talented. He does the production and the editing for all our videos.
Does a great job at that.
Yeah, thank you. I will pass on. He really does do a great job. But we also have 2 friends, Josh and Melissa, with New Months Productions, and they've been doing films and videos for almost a decade. So, they came in with their production equipment, their lighting, their expertise, and really helped us put on something that was, put together and worth watching, because we wouldn't have known where to start. So I think the hardest part is self-belief and then finding the right people to help you. So we were lucky on both accounts.
Hey, better be lucky than not lucky.
This is true. Yeah.
So let's fast forward to the film prize.
Okay, let's do it.
So give me the rundown on how that came about and the film that you had, for the film prize.
Yeah, so the Louisiana Film Prize, this is its 7th year. And I had an idea in my head. Again, this is one of those cases where you think, should I, shouldn't I, you know, what should I do?
You're just full of ideas.
Yeah, exactly. So lots of coffee, lots of ideas.
Right.
So yeah, so I wrote it, and again, this is a case where you know, our friends with New Months Productions were able to help us shoot it, and then my husband was able to edit it. And we're lucky enough that, again, that the judges responded to it and put us in the top 20 for the 2018 Louisiana Film Prize. And then we actually walked away with the Best Actress Award. So
congratulations.
Thank you. It's very exciting. And it was also cool because my parents got to come. And in the 7 years of the Film Prize, in terms of nominations for Best Lead Actress and the top 20, I was able to like kind of break the barrier of being the first Indian American in both those areas. They had never had an Indian screenwriter or actress in the Film Prize before.
Oh, look at you, making history.
I guess you could consider it that way, but I was really proud to be able to have my parents at the Film Prize for that reason, you know, because obviously we're very proud of our culture, and I was glad to be able to do that.
That's good.
Yeah.
I mean, anytime you're the first,
yeah,
that's
right.
something you've made history.
Yeah, I guess so.
Because, I mean, you don't hear much about Indian American, you know.
Yeah.
It's all, I'm not saying it's a forgotten culture, but it's just not around as much. So
yeah, well, especially locally, I don't know, you know, especially in the arts and entertainment, we see it nationally and of course internationally, but
right.
Maybe not so much, or maybe I don't know, but I haven't seen as much of it in the arts and entertainment like film world locally. So if anybody could see what we're doing and be inspired by that, that would be great, because the more faces that you see that are like yours, the more you feel like, yeah, okay, that's something I could do too.
Exactly.
So representation is obviously so important.
So what's going to happen when your production company just totally blows up and you're still in position?
I'm prepared to let that go. I mean, I love helping people and I love the opportunity of being a physician, but you know, if the opportunity comes for me to 100% full time, you know, do what I love, then I'm ready for that.
You're prepared.
Yeah, I am.
Like, I love it, but
yeah, I love it, but I love this more.
Right.
And you can help people in lots of ways. You know, you don't just have to be in one certain type of industry to be able to help people. Obviously, you can help people through art. I mean, that's a big way that people get, you know, boosted in their life. So, you know, it's just same intention, different method.
True enough.
Yeah.
So when you're not at work being a physician, when you're not directing and filming and interviewing, I mean, what else do you do? What's the life of Jaya?
Sleeping. You know, I have precious free time, you know, so precious little free time, I should say.
Right,
you know,
right.
so I like to watch movies and television myself and see what other people are doing. You know, I'm very good at binging on Netflix. Maybe spending more time than I should. I love music, I love to read, I love a night out on the town, you know, all of those things.
What music do you like?
Well, I like pretty mainstream music. I guess I'm not really that interesting or cultured that way, but I'm stuck in the 90s and the 2000s. To me, that was like some of the best era of music. So in the 90s, you know, when I was growing up, I listened to everything. I listened, you know, to R&B, pop, country even.
Right.
Like, you know, everything that there was. And so I feel like I haven't kept up with music as it's progressed, because to me that was some of the best music that was out there. And I really love old music too, like 60s, 70s.
Right.
So, I mean, I just kind of like it all.
It's changed. The music landscape has changed quite a bit.
It has.
You know,
has.
You go from like 1998 to current. I mean,
Yeah.
it's totally different.
Yeah. The 90s were my jam, for sure.
Right. That's my favorite era of hip hop.
Do you have a favorite artist?
80s. Me? My favorite artist?
Look, I'm turning it around on you. Now I'm interviewing you.
That's totally fine, because it doesn't normally happen to me. Slim Thug is my favorite artist.
Okay.
From Houston.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
know, he's been out since 1998. I was in the military then. You
Oh,
know,
wow.
I just retired a couple years ago.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
What branch of the military?
Air Force. I was stationed right here in Barksdale. That's the only reason I'm here in Shreveport.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, thank you for your service.
No problem.
Where are you
With it
from?
being Veterans Day weekend.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
I'm from Longview, Texas.
Okay, so not too far.
No, I'm not too far from the house.
Yeah.
You know, I lived in Dallas for a while, so you know I was back and forth between, you know, during summers and things like that.
Right.
So, but back to the original question. But yeah, Slim Thug, that's my favorite artist. But
Okay.
I do listen to quite a bit
Yeah.
People, you know.
Yeah.
Still an Ice Cube fan.
He's awesome.
Yeah.
Yep. I feel like such an old fogey because I'm like, music today doesn't have the same message it did when I was growing up, but I feel like but it doesn't, right? I mean, I feel like it's such about, not all of it, of course, but I feel like the content has changed to like, you know, just synthetic beats and superficiality. And before it used to be about expressing the momentum of a culture or the voice of the underrepresented. And I don't know how much of that is happening anymore. So I just feel like that was such a golden age of people trying to say something through art that I just can't let it go. It was such a good era of music.
The rap, like you said, the rap used to be a voice for what's going on.
Serious, yeah, absolutely.
There was a lot of political messages in there.
Exactly.
Now it's don't turn almost more drug culture.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I haven't kept up with it as much, but when I like any song, even if it's not my type of music, you know, whether it's rap, jazz, R&B, hip hop, pop. If they're saying something meaningful, I'm always happy to listen to it, you know, because that's when you hear someone genuinely expressing themselves, it's moving no matter what.
Right.
And so I feel like kids these days just don't know how good we had it back then.
They don't have a clue.
It's just not the same.
You don't have those Tupacs anymore.
Right.
That could paint a picture and tell a story. And tell a story about the struggle.
Yeah.
You know, pretty much being a poet inside the rap. You don't have much of that anymore. And if you do, it's really suppressed.
Exactly.
So the bull flies to, you know, surfaces to the top. And then we're just entrenched in it. Because it's on the radio, it's on TV, it's on YouTube.
Right.
You can't get away from it.
Right. And I think people are so much more concerned about going viral nowadays than they are about making good music. So if there were a Tupac right now, I don't even know that I would hear him. You know, I don't know if he would make it to the top of the radio with his song, you know, even though he should.
Exactly what you're saying.
Yeah, yeah.
So do you watch sports?
I do. I don't have as much time to watch sports as I used to. I used to watch a lot of football, and I used to watch a lot of pro basketball.
Who are your teams?
Okay, don't laugh. So in the 90s and for about a good decade or so, I was obsessed with the Utah Jazz.
Can you take time to explain this for a second?
For whatever reason, so I used to watch the Seattle Supersonics. This is back when Sean Kemp and Gary Payton were playing.
Okay.
Yes. So, but then they were in the semifinals against the Utah Jazz, and there was this duo, Karl Malone and John Stockton, playing under Coach Jerry Sloan.
Yeah.
And I just fell in love. I was like, they're so understated. They're not flashy. They're just picking and rolling and getting the job done. And I just became obsessed with that team. And I didn't even know that it used to be called the New Orleans Jazz at the time.
Yeah.
But now I can say, oh yeah, it's because of the Louisiana connection. So I watched pro basketball until they retired. They came very close to winning twice. You know, they played the Bulls in the NBA Finals.
Yeah, they played this ballhead dude named Michael Jordan.
Anyway, I'm still bitter 20 years later. Because I think he pushed off on Brian Russell in the finals. I was okay.
Here we go. That's the debate.
I remember everything. I remember Dick Bavetta should have made the call and he didn't.
Who's gonna make that call against Michael Jordan?
Not him.
But
no. And then Game 5, you know, Michael Jordan had the flu and he's still.
He did.
It's like, all right, fine.
Here we go.
But so yeah, I love the Jazz. I watched them until all of my people retired. I mean, I remember everyone: Antoine Carr, Greg Ostertag, Jeff Hornacek.
Oh, yeah, you do know.
Yes. And then once I kind of faded away from basketball, I got really into Saints football, of course.
Of course.
And so I was actually in New Orleans, not at the game, but on Bourbon Street the year that they won the Super Bowl. So that was an awesome experience.
Well, yeah, I was about to say, what was that like?
Insanity. Actually, if you looked outside, there was nobody in the streets because everybody was inside watching the game. Yeah. Right. And then after, wasn't it Tracy Porter that got that interception?
The pick six, yeah.
Everybody just lost it. You know, I was next to some guy dressed up as Elvis. Everyone was going crazy. It was just a moment I'll never forget. And so I watched Saints pretty religiously for several years after that, but recently we've just been so busy, I haven't been able to keep up as much as I like. But I'm still a Saints fan.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're doing good this year.
Yeah, I know.
They'll be going to the Super Bowl.
Fingers crossed. Every time I hope, they break my heart, though, so I'm not even going to hope right now.
They allow another Minnesota miracle like last year.
Yes, right, exactly.
Wasn't that sad?
Yes, very much so. I mean, it's so hard to watch the Saints because you love them so much, and they can just really break your heart unless they do their typical fourth quarter comeback thing, but that doesn't always work out.
Yeah, sometimes it does, but I mean, when you got Drew Brees.
I know, I love Drew Brees. Who doesn't love Drew Brees?
Let's see.
Crazy people. That's who.
Atlanta Falcon fans.
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay. That's right.
Tampa Bay Buck fans.
Everybody else. Yeah.
Right,
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
But getting back to your filming and working, have you found it hard to like accumulate followers and different things like that, getting people to engage and
Like on social media, or
right.
Yeah, social media is a strange animal. Like Facebook really gives people access to everyone. But and you guys may have experienced this as well. It seems like Facebook, every time you figure out how to get in people's news feeds and get your content out there, they'll change the algorithm. Or they'll say, pay us $20 and then we'll boost your post.
There it is. The algorithm is horrible.
And every time you figure it out, it changes. So, I used to spend a lot of time, and maybe I should, maybe this is a mistake. I used to spend a lot of time trying to figure it out and have a social media strategy. And maybe as we grow, we can bring on someone that's good in that. But then I was just, at this point, we really just want to focus on making good content and getting the good content out there, and then hope that we build up a following organically instead of having to spend $100 so my video can show up in your newsfeed. It's just...
That is the most frustrating part.
It is so frustrating.
On Facebook, we got 23,000 followers.
Wow, that's amazing.
23,000.
Yes, wow.
But I can make a post, and Facebook's only going to show it to 100 people.
Right.
But what they do is they're going to put it like in front of 100 people.
Yeah.
And based off the response of that post in the first maybe 20, 30 minutes.
Right.
If people respond to it, they push it further.
Yeah.
If nobody doesn't respond or make any comments within that certain amount of time, they're not going to push it.
Right.
So the key is, as soon as you post it, to get people to start jumping on it and liking it so they will extend it further. But I think it's bull.
It is.
I mean, 100 people from 25,000, that's not even 10%.
Right. I mean, that's insane.
Maybe like one. It's
Yeah.
less than 1%.
Yeah. I can't do that math in my head, but I believe you. That sounds
Yeah,
right.
somewhere around that. But
yeah.
then,
It's so
but
frustrating.
then, like you said, they hit you with the, well, if you put $20 on this boost, we put it in front of more of your people.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
you find yourself in a quandary, like, okay, do I go ahead and pay this $20, $10 or whatever?
Right.
Put it in front of more people.
Right.
Or do I try to let it happen organically?
Right.
But the people that normally follow me might not even see this and know anything about this post.
I know. I mean, I have 5 or 6 really good friends who are very good about supporting us and supporting our page.
But they probably never see it.
They never see it unless I pay to boost the the content.
Unless you go tell them, like, hey, I just posted something.
Yeah.
So now, like, if I post an artist video, because that's what we do, we post artist videos and stuff like that, I tell them, like, send all your people over.
Yeah.
And get to commenting and liking and sharing.
Right.
Because the more you do it, the more organically it's going to go.
Exactly.
So people study on it. We did a post with Casey and JoJo.
Oh, wow, yeah.
It's got 3 million views.
Oh, wow.
Reason being because people keep commenting and sharing. So it
Right.
just keeps circling to
Right.
the top of the news feed. So
Yeah.
that's a lot of the key with the algorithm. I mean, Instagram's not any better.
Right. Well, Facebook bought Instagram, so.
Yeah, so it's not any better.
Yeah.
So, I mean.
Oh, man, my sister was obsessed with Casey and JoJo in high school.
I mean, who
wasn't? Yeah.
Right.
That's true.
Right. But the algorithm, I mean, they always change it.
Yep.
You try to figure it out. So for people like myself and yourself, it's challenging.
Right.
No matter how many, like I said, I got 24,000, and I'm still having a difficult time trying to get the product out there because
Right.
the algorithm is so messed up. They
Yeah.
go broke.
Yeah.
Promoting every post.
I know. It's such a double-edged sword because it used to be before the internet and social media, you had to rely on a news station or a channel to, you had to rely on someone who owned a television station to put your content out there. So this way it does, it puts it in your hands, in our hands, that we can directly post our content, but then will anyone ever see it? That's a double-edged sword, but we'll figure it out.
Fun question for you. If you can interview anybody,
Ooh.
I'm going to make it easier for you. I mean,
Okay.
it might make it harder.
Okay.
Anybody dead or alive.
That makes it harder. Let's see.
See that.
Oh, that is so hard. Let's see if I could interview anybody, dead or alive. Well, this one, okay, I'm going to say this, but it doesn't count because my sister already did it, but I would love to interview Barack Obama just because I'm such a huge fan and he's so intelligent. But my sister did. She interviewed Barack Obama one-on-one already, so I'm going to kind of claim that. Y'all need...
Give us a brief rundown about
Yes.
this.
So my sister, her name is Jaya Sharma. And
Okay.
she works for Now This News. So you may have seen Now This videos on Facebook. They're pretty ubiquitous and popular.
Okay.
Well, she joined them before anybody knew who they were, and she kind of rose to the top of their political team. So during the 2016 election, on her bucket list was to interview Barack Obama while he was still president.
It's on mine too.
So 2 months before he left office, he was campaigning for Hillary. Gosh, I can't remember, like Indiana or Wyoming or somewhere. And she was able to fly there, and he gave her like 20 or 30 minutes of his time. It was only supposed to be 5, but she took 30 minutes, and she interviewed him one-on-one, and it was on all the major news channels because she was the first person to ask him about the, oh my gosh, the pipeline. What was it called?
In North Dakota?
The Dakota pipeline, yes.
Right.
She was the first person to ask him about that. And so it made it on MSNBC and CNN. So you can Google Jaya Sharma, Barack Obama, and watch the entire interview on Now This. So, so I'm going to claim through my sister that I kind of got to experience it. She got to meet Obama, so amazing.
Everybody can't claim that.
I know.
Like, hey, I interviewed Barack Obama.
Oh my gosh, yeah. And she did such a good job. So, she's interviewed lots of people, but Barack Obama is my favorite person that she's interviewed. I mean, hello, it's Obama. He's the best. So that didn't really answer your question, but he would be on my list for sure.
But that was a good story, though.
Yeah, it is a good story, yeah. And she said he was super nice, of course. I mean,
Right.
And that the Secret Service came and checked her out 2 hours before the interview. So for 2 hours, she couldn't even leave to go to the bathroom to pee. She just had to hold it. But you got to do what you got to do if you're going to interview the president, right?
Hey, understandably.
Yeah, for sure. So I think, who else would I want to interview? It's so easy to say people like, Gandhi or like Mother Teresa or Martin Luther King because they were all change makers.
Right.
So I've really never thought about this question. I think I'd want to interview any of them, but I'd also love to interview the Monkees. Have you heard of the band called?
Group?
Yeah. I was a huge fan ever since I was 5 years old.
Found that out on
the 40
episode.
Yeah. So I'd love to do a sit-down interview with Davy Jones or Mickey Dolenz or Mike Nesmith or Peter Tork. But I did get to sing on stage with them, and that was one of the highlights of my life. So, yeah, let's say the Monkees or any of those people. Or Oprah. Oprah would be amazing.
But don't you have a story about Chris Jericho?
Oh my God! Wait, but where did you find out about that? Where did I say that?
It was on the. I'm a media guy.
You are.
Number 2, I watched some of your shows.
You did? Oh yeah. The Crybaby. Wasn't his name the Crybaby? Oh well, Chris Jericho. The reason I got into wrestling is because Karl Malone got into wrestling, and I was obsessed with the Utah Jazz, and he wrestled with this guy named Diamond Dallas Page.
Played against Hulk Hogan, and was that Eric Bischoff?
Oh my God, I think it was. Good memory. I forgot who they wrestled against.
Only because I'm a huge wrestling fan, so
okay.
Yeah.
So that's how I knew Chris Jericho, because my cousins watched it all the time. Anyway, he came to the Alexandria Mall for a publicity, whatever, and he had all sorts of handlers, around him, and they were like, do not go up and ask for a picture, stay away, blah, blah. And I just had my heart was beating fast. I just had FOMO, even though that wasn't a term yet. I was like, I don't know. I think I just got to do it. So I just kind of crawled under some tables and then popped up behind the table by him. I was like, hey, can I get a picture with you? And he said, yeah, no problem, even though his security people were not happy with me. I guess, I can't remember how old I was, but I guess I didn't look very threatening because they didn't take me away in handcuffs or tackle me or anything. So they let me take the picture, and then they made me, leave after that. But he was super nice himself, so yeah.
Right.
I got the picture with him.
Now, I mean, they're not going to beat down an attractive female.
Right. Well, I don't know. I was pretty awkward. Thank you for saying that. I was pretty awkward. Had a very long, awkward stage. But they were very sweet, and he himself was very, very sweet. And I've got to find that picture. It's got to be in my parents' house somewhere. That's back when you had to go get pictures developed.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you had to drop them off and get the 1 hour photo.
Yeah.
Go back and I remember those days.
Yeah, it wasn't even digital camera. It was like you didn't even know what it was going to turn out. I'm really dating myself here.
So you've been connected to a couple of famous people. Who else have you ran into?
Oh gosh, I don't know. Well, I got to meet J.K. Rowling, the author of Harry Potter.
Okay.
Yeah, at a New York event because she had come out with her first non-Harry Potter book called The Casual Vacancy, and she was doing a book signing. So I got to meet her. You know, here in town, whenever they were shooting films, my sister, again, she was the stand-in for Tandy Newton when they filmed W here. So I got to go to the wrap party and meet Josh Brolin, so that was good.
Okay.
And I met Sean Stone, who's the son of Oliver Stone.
Right.
I can't think. Oh, one of my favorite stories, though, was when, at the time, he was my boyfriend, and now he's my husband. We went to Las Vegas on a trip, and we bought tickets to see Boyz II Men, who's one of my all-time favorite groups. Mm-hmm. And I didn't realize the ticket included a meet and greet afterwards. So we got to, we got to meet them, and I got to tell them, they didn't care, but I got to tell them, I tried to come see you when I was in high school and when you performed in Lafayette, but my parents wouldn't let me. So I'm so glad I finally got to see you. And they're like, okay, let's take a picture. They were super sweet too. So yeah, I've gotten to meet a lot of people, just either through stalking or sheer luck.
Stop! Oh, look at you.
I have my ways.
Hey, nothing wrong with that. You
Yeah,
got the job done,
yeah, that's right. Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Give me one fun fact that a lot of people don't know about you.
Oh gosh, well I already gave away my monkeys trivia, so that would have been one fun fact. Oh, okay. When I was in junior high, I went to the National Spelling Bee twice. And you always see all those Indian kids at the end on ESPN. This is before it became cool. Okay. No one thought it was cool when I was doing it.
Okay.
I wore like this Tommy Hilfiger American flag shirt.
I think I had one of these.
Yeah. But yeah, I made it all the way to the 5th round of the National Spelling Bee, and then I got out. But on all the national television shows the next day, they used me in all the montages. Unfortunately, they would show the triumph of victory, and they'd show the winner and the agony of defeat, and you'd see me going, no! And that was my claim to fame when I was 13 years old on like 6 different national news channels that they showed me losing. Good times.
I like how you phrase that in, like my claim to fame being losing.
Yes, my claim to fame was losing, so that was my biggest claim to. I mean, it was hard to get there, but the word I got out on was stanchion. Anybody want to try to spell it?
No.
It's hard. But anyway, it's Stanchion.
I only came close.
But I left out the I. And so the headline in my hometown newspaper the next day was "The Stupid I," because that's what I had said in my interview. So I was like, so for about a decade, that was like the most famous thing that I did was lose on national television. Sorry, Dad. Sorry, Mom.
I mean,
it builds character, though.
At least you got that far.
No, absolutely. It was a wonderful experience. It was really intense competition to get to the National Spelling Bee in the first place. So it was a good experience.
You know, I keep looking at, because every time you raise your hand, I keep looking at your hand.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, this is not a real tattoo. I don't know if y'all can see it, but a couple days ago we had the Indian New Year, which is called Diwali, the Festival of Lights. Okay. And so we got some henna done, which is, they use that henna paste to make designs on your hand, and then it stays for about a week or two.
I thought that was an actual tattoo. I'm like, I'm going to have to ask.
Oh, yeah, no, it's not an actual tattoo. When you get married, they do it all along your hands and your feet, and it stays for about 2 or 3 weeks.
Really?
But it takes about 4 hours. It's a very intense process, but it's beautiful, so.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow. One last thing.
Okay, I'm ready.
You're so interested in
I know.
Wrap this
well, these
up,
are good questions. You're very good at what you do.
I try.
Yeah.
You know what? I watch a lot of that. I watch a lot of Vlad TV.
Oh, okay.
I watch Vlad. I watch Breakfast Club.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like to be good at what you do, you need to watch the top people and what they do.
That is so true.
Kind of see how they phrase their questions. And,
yeah.
And even though they got people to do their research for them.
Well, yeah, you did a lot of research. You really surprised me with some of these questions. Like, I was not expecting the Chris Jericho question for sure.
I told you was a person of interest.
You did. You warned me.
But you have content out there.
Yeah.
So you can do research. Then some people get by like, hey, you need to research me? Well, you ain't got nothing out there.
Yeah.
What you want me to research if there's nothing out there?
That's right.
I mean, that just comes with the territory.
It does.
It is what it is. So, where do you see yourself 2 years from now with your shows and your production company?
All right, I'm going to do best case scenario, right?
Best case scenario.
Because you got to put out what you want into the universe and visualize it. That's what all the successful people that I try to emulate say,
Right.
So in 2 years, I would love to be doing either feature films or some kind of production full time.
Right.
And hopefully hashtag Brown Bridget MD is a series on Netflix or Hulu.
Okay.
Or very close to being that. So we will have turned our short film into a full-fledged series, and we'll be working full-time in film and television. That's what I want to be doing in 2 years.
Sounds outstanding. I think
Why
you'll
not?
be doing that in 2 years.
I hope so.
You got a good start as it is. You got 2 great shows, and you're going to continue to do good things. I'm speaking this to existence for you.
Yeah, I really appreciate that.
I
Yeah.
believe that as well.
That's right. Visualization is almost half the battle. Of course, visualization and then executing it. But yeah, that's where I'd love to be in 2 years.
Execute.
Absolutely.
People visualize a lot all day, but they do not execute.
Means nothing without follow through.
There you go.
That's right.
So just tell everybody, your social media handles, where they can find your shows.
Yeah, absolutely. We are on YouTube. We're going to be adding a lot more content. So we've got 2 YouTube channels. It's youtube.com/JCS Tangerine. And we'll also have a channel with our New Months Productions partners that will be called Digital Munchies, which is going to be active after the new year. But for most of our content, if you find me on Facebook, I'm Jaya McSharma on Facebook. So that's Jaya, Jaya McSharma, MCSHARMA, and that's the same handle on Instagram at Jaya McSharma. So if you search me, you should find me. I should be the only Jaya McSharma out there.
Yeah, you're the only one I've seen.
Yeah, well, we made up the last name, so I should be the only one.
Okay.
I should be the only one out there as far as I know. But yeah, I'd love to hear from anybody that has seen this interview, and we'll definitely be following you guys as well.
That'll work. And hey, thank you for coming on Takeover TV.
Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure.
Anytime. We got to do a part 2 with you.
I'm ready whenever you are.
Great. Thank you.
All right.